So panic and chaos that has now gripped the country as we are looking at seemingly no end to the bomb threats menace. The endless as far as these hoax bomb threats are concerned. In the last 8 days itself, more than 180 flights that have received these hoax bomb threats. And even not just when it comes to the economic cost of the scare, it is astronomical, but it is also leading to alarm amongst the people. As times now, there has been learned that there seems to be a link between the hoax calls that has been sent to schools. If you previously remember, there was a certain time when one after the other, back to back, as top schools in Delhi and NCR were receiving bomb threats. There were institutes like even hospitals in the months of May and June as far as these hoax emails that were plaguing now the aviation sector. A social media handle using a moniker Adam Lance that has been sending these hoax mail through the schools and hospitals and now to various airlines. And this begs the question, is there a larger plot to destabilize India? And if so, why is this so hard to crack down when it comes to the growing digital menace? Let's in the meantime talk about what the security officials are now doing, especially when it comes to tackling when it comes to this menace is concerned in the month of August itself. Times now having accessed this intel note from the meeting itself, the details of those who have been sending these hoax emails are actually using VPN, Proton and other privacy domain sites. That becomes very hard to track as far as their origin, their domain is concerned. And despite when it comes to getting clearances for court, this becomes as far as a challenge for the intel agencies as well, because multiple of these threat calls that has been made, and this is coming to the aviation sector. However, when it comes to all of these threats, none of them are some that can be taken lightly. All of these threats, the due protocol, especially when it comes to safety and keeping the priority of passenger safety at top, that has to be followed, but it has consequences too. There are delays, there are disruptions. There is a financial, economic loss that seems to be happening to the aviation sector. That has now been begging the question that if there are stricter guidelines, what happens next when they are put in place? We have Bhavtosh and Sabyasachi, both of them joining us live right now. Good afternoon to both of you. Bhavtosh, help us understand, is there a pattern to it? As far as these hoax bomb threats, the trend that began right from schools to hospitals to now airlines. Bhavtosh, I believe we just can't hear you. We'll just fix that audio line now with Bhavtosh. But Sabyasachi, if you can take that question, because we are looking at in the last 1 week alone, there have been over 150 cases that have now hit the airlines or the aviation sector.
Well, that's right. See, it's been a week and around 180 hoax cases have been reported so far. We had seen that earlier the hoax emails were being sent to schools, colleges, as well as the different hospitals across the country. And now they are targeting the aviation industry. See, after the hoax menace, the aviation industry almost have lost over 500 crores. And that is the reason why high-level meeting continuously is taking place, be it the Civil Aviation Ministry or the IT Ministry, and all of them are trying to bring in different precautionary measures. But we'll
understand from the experts as well, especially when it comes to the problem is concerned, how to tackle that. Mr. P.K. Jain, former additional DGP of Maharashtra, is with us. Captain Amit Singh, founder of Safety Matters Foundation, is also joining us. Good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Namaskar.
Captain Amit
Namaskar.
Singh, if you can help us understand, as far as technology is growing, privacy is also something that is of prime importance, but this is also turning into a menace. How technology is now being abused, especially when it's come to tracking down VPNs in certain domains. How do we find out exactly who is sending these hoax bomb threats and why?
Well, this is there is a committee or an act wherein the VPN providers have to disclose data. They have to keep data for 5 years and disclose it. So it is basically an IT solution which has to find out the origin and catch the perpetrators. But looking at the hoax calls, we have to see what the objective is. The objective is basically create mayhem and some kind of fear. And nowadays, the new ideology is disruption. Everybody goes for disruption because that is getting them some immediate feedback and the sense that if they're not heard or if they're not able to follow the legal proceedings, then cause disruption. So that is the new trend we have seen globally happening. And this is a part of that ideology. It could be automated through bots or other IT technologies that somebody is automatically sending or targeting a few airlines, because this is only affecting Indian airlines in India. So obviously somebody or some group is trying to seek more attention. Airlines or aviation sector is primarily targeted, one, for media attention, because it attracts maximum media attention as compared to other modes of transport, and other because the economy gets affected, and this sense of fear, if it seeps in to the people and the operatives, then in the longer run it affects the economy. As you have seen, crores of losses have happened to the aviation sector.
Yes.
And there is no kind of insurance to it. So an IT solution or a cyber solution, the security experts would be more
What
in
exactly
the...
could be the solution, Mr. Jain? Because we are looking at multiple angles, as we wanted to understand if this is a trend or this is a pattern that is being followed, because it aims at disruption, and none of them, especially when it comes to threat that goes to the airlines or the aviation sector, could be taken lightly.
Namaskar. Thank you very much. See, I would take it as an act of war against the government of India, against the aviation sector in the country. It has already been tried against schools and hospitals earlier. Now it is being tried against the airlines. See, there was in the good old days in late 90s and early 2000 years, we had every dacoity at a petrol pump used to be treated as an act of funding terrorism. It was every agency in the state was sent out a message that the moment there's a robbery at the petrol pump, we must immediately act and take it as an act of terrorism. I think we should wake up now. It's a wake-up call. Every call, of course, as per the international standards in aviation, every call, every threat has to be taken seriously, and the captain is authorized to take whatever action he deems fit. He takes it to the nearest airport, he takes it back to the airport he started from, depending on the fuel, depending on the distance, and depending on the safety measures, etc. But what I'm trying to say is that it has to be fought at two levels. One is internal. Already the security at the airports has been spruced up. It has been spruced up by 10%. That's what the Ministry of Civil Aviation says. Now, in addition to that, the security checks to be carried out at the airports of the passenger and the goods, so that we eliminate the possibility of any dubious goods getting on board. That is one. Second is, it has to be seen outside. We must immediately put up a kind of a technical force or technical module in action, which tracks these VPN systems from wherever these threats are
So, Mr. Jain, we would like to put out, actually, when it comes to the details that have now come across in the last few days that we have been witnessing, as far as the number of cases that only seems to increase when it comes to these threat calls over these social media handles that are now being given to the airlines there. Let's talk about 179 plus such incidents that have been reported, airlines by hoax threats. Is this a pattern? Is there a linkage as far as the threat to the schools and airlines that has now been reported? Schools in the past, it seems to be the same online handle that been sending those threats to schools and also to airlines. Now, either when it comes to this account that we have been talking about, Adam Lanza, who seems to be threatening the schools, the hospitals and the airlines. We remember in the months from May and June, ever since this saga began, over 700 hoax emails that were sent to schools, hospitals, the same account send threats, hoax mails to several airlines now. How to track them down? Bhavtosh with us right now as we are trying to get more information from him on this intel note that has also been accessed to also talk about as far as if there is a pattern, a trend to it that follows, as far as the same online handle seems to be the one that is sending these threats. Many of them are said to be, as far as these hoax emails or these messages on social media are concerned, Bhavtosh, from abroad, from foreign linkages as well. But how to track them down? And if there is any other method, who exactly is the one and from where are these hoax mails coming from?
Well, As far as these threat mails or the use of Twitter is concerned, they in fact might be following a pattern. Remember, Amitabh, way back in on 1st of May, there were 300 hoax mails that were received by schools in NCR, and that in fact led to investigation by Delhi police and other agencies. And then subsequently on 13th of June, 4 psychiatric hospitals in Delhi as well as NGOs and National Gallery of Modern Art received a mail, a threat mail by a person or a user who used a moniker of Adam Lanza. Now, just few days back, the Twitter handle of an individual called Adam Lanza created a panic when several airlines received this threat mail. Now, we are not saying that there is a pattern or the same individual using it, but central agencies have said that it could be possible that the individuals may be state actors, external state actors, or non-state actors could be in fact carrying out these scare. In fact, it is leading to an economic loss. It happened between May and June when there were 700 hoax calls across the country, hoax calls as well as hoax mails, and now again 179 flights have been completely delayed or grounded. Now these mails have not been agencies have not been able to crack them, primarily because these Twitter accounts have been set up by using Proton Mail, or they have been used through VPN. Some of these mails have completely bounced into foreign countries, and in some cases,
that seems to be the problem there. Captain Singh, how to decipher such mails?
National problem, because USA faced this from the 1970s, from hundreds of bomb threats and hijacking incidents. It has come down to a low number. So that again has to be dealt with the stringent security protocol, and the public has to be assured that whatever system is in place is almost foolproof, 100%. Nothing is 100%, but it has to be demonstrated through various media channels what are the security protocols in force, and there is no need to panic or fear, because that is the main objective of the person, to create some sort of fear. So,
no, absolutely. Mr. Jain, if you can take that question, because it is not about creating a panic. It is also about not becoming a norm, that it becomes, all right, it's a bomb threat, it will be a hoax one. It cannot become a norm. Mr. Jain.
See, it's very difficult till the time you neutralize the threat where it is emanating from. It is difficult to say that the becoming of this kind of a threat a norm would be possible. See, the problem has to be attacked from the technical point of view. We have to somehow access the VPN from where it is such mails are originating. We have to work with other countries who have got the technical know-how. We may work with Israel, we may work with US, we may work with any other country which has the kind of technical know-how. US certainly has, because US faced similar problem way back. They've been facing this kind of a problem they faced it for almost 30 years, and then they put up a group which could go down to the technicalities, and they started blocking. They started taking action against any word which had to do with a threat or a bomb scare or something like that.
Right.
So we have to, in fact, since May we had time, I probably did not respond to it the way we ought to have. We should react to it immediately, put up a group in place so that the technical minds,
unfortunately, I do have to cut you short, Mr. Jain and Mr. Captain Amit Singh. Thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. Of course, this is a growing menace.